Trump backs off escalation as Iran war continues. Amid productive talks, source NBC News, U.S. President Donald Trump has delayed a planned military escalation against Iran, saying Washington and Tehran are engaged in productive talks, even as the war in the Middle East continues into its fourth week. However, Iranian officials denied that any direct negotiations are taking place and suggested the delay may be a strategy to buy time for further military planning. Trump announced Monday that he would postpone threatened strikes on Iranian power plants for at least 5 days, just hours before a deadline he had set for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil shipping routes. The president said the two sides were moving toward a complete and total resolution of the conflict, though he did not provide details about the talks. Iran's foreign ministry rejected Trump's claims, saying there was no dialogue between Tehran and Washington. In a statement carried by semi-official Mehr News, officials said the delay in attacks appeared to be an attempt to reduce energy prices and allow the United States more time to prepare military operations, while noting that regional countries are trying to reduce tensions. The conflict, which began weeks ago and has spread across the Middle East, has pushed up global prices for oil and food and raised fears of a wider economic crisis. The situation worsened after Israeli strikes hit central Tehran shortly after Trump's announcement, showing that fighting on the ground is still continuing despite talk of diplomacy. Iran has also kept pressure on the Strait of Hormuz, a route through which about 20% of the world's oil supply passes. Energy experts warn that continued disruption could trigger a crisis worse than the oil shocks of the 1970s. Trump said Iran had contacted the United States seeking a deal and that discussions included preventing Tehran from ever obtaining nuclear weapons. He added that any agreement must mean no more wars and no nuclear weapons. He also said Israel would support such a deal. U.S. officials said all options remain on the table, including military action to secure key oil facilities and shipping routes if necessary. At the same time, analysts say the sudden shift toward talks could either open the door to de-escalation or be a pause before a larger conflict. Experts say it is still unclear whether the latest developments will lead to peace negotiations or a new phase of the war, as both sides continue military preparations while publicly speaking about diplomacy.